In today's food recipe, I decided to make a protein chocolate banana bread. I'll show you how I'm making it. I'll leave the ingredients and the directions in the description below, but I hope you enjoy today's food item. It came out really delicious. Day 21 out of the 75 hard. Today's quote is, "You cannot have a positive life and a negative mind," by Joyce Meyer. For me, the way I understood this quote is, it's pretty simple. You can't see opportunities or positive opportunities for yourself if you are negatively thinking, because when you're in that mindset, you're kind of like attracting negative things, and you're always gonna see the bad things in every situation. So if you want your life to improve, you gotta change the way you think, and you gotta think in a more positive way. That's the way I understood the quote. Let me know in the comments how you understood it. So for today's reading for the 12 Rules for Life, just another interesting 10 pages. Today, what I read, let me get to it. It was talking about how important it is to know that there's a fine line between rewarding and punishing your children, because the effects it has in the long term, right? You can't always reward your child, because then you're teaching them to be like naive, but you also can't always punish them, because then they're not going to trust other people. So there's like a fine line, there's like a gray area that you're supposed to be at. The same way with like rewards and positive approaches that are very good at teaching. There's also like the negative emotions also teaches as well, like pain, some anxiety. If you think about it, if this has happened to you, I know it's happened to me, but when your parents tell you, hey, don't touch that stove, it's hot, right? And you go touch it, you're gonna burn your hand, but now you learned your lesson, you're never gonna touch that stove out top, but that's a negative emotion because that's pain. So now you have learned, hey, I'm not gonna do that again. So there's a balance between reward and punishment. It also talks about how, like, this is crazy to me, how like the human mind works. But it's like, so in a case of a 3-year-old, right, who's displaying selfish behavior in the presence of her parents, the parents don't intervene because they're just too nice, they don't want to hurt the child, and let me see, give me a second. The parents get annoyed from the child because she's not listening, but they pretend everything is okay, but they won't correct her in that moment of what the child is doing, but later on will snap at the child, and the child will be confused in why she got screamed at. And what happens from then is that when she tries to make friends, she has a hard time because kids her age wouldn't want to play with her, or just because the inability of cooperation. And when a kid doesn't want to play, they would deem them as like awkward or just like misbehaves. And then this will lead the girl, the 3-year-old, to be lonely and get rejected, and then eventually like produce anxiety, depression, and resentment. So it's kind of crazy that like from the parents not teaching her a lesson, how the effects will happen to her later on from with her friends, because at a young age we socialize a lot. So if we aren't in a group, we deem ourselves as like lonely or different, and kind of has like a very psychological effect on us. And that's what he was talking about in the book, because he says that if a child has not been taught to behave properly by the age of 4, it will forever be difficult for him or her to make friends. This matters because peers are the primary source of socialization after the age of 4. So yeah, it's kind of crazy, like how important our early age has on us in the future, right? Also talks about how children will misbehave in public because they're testing their boundaries to see if the limitations that happen at home are the same out in public. So that's why you see like kids like always like pushing their buttons, because in the end, like, they're curious. They want to know like how far can they go, because everything's so new to them, right? But it's all pretty interesting of how kind of important it is to really pay attention to your child and like the effects that you have on their life. Yeah, that's pretty interesting reading. I suggest reading the book. So today's 21, so this is a weekly update. Physically, besides last night, I've been sleeping amazing. Last night I just stayed up playing video games. That's my fault. But besides last night, I've been sleeping really good. Just, I guess, due to the workouts, and then also like editing and doing all this video stuff. So like that's like an extra hour to maybe even 3 hours of my day that I gotta do. So when I hit that bed, I am out. So my sleep has definitely improved. Physically, been getting a little bit more compliments on my physique. I appreciate all those compliments, but to me personally, I'm not satisfied. I always think I can look bigger and feel stronger. So I'm definitely not satisfied where I'm at. So I'm just always going to continue pushing upward and forward. Mentally, I think I'm doing pretty good. And and some things that I learned in this week, definitely, if we put in my skating aspect, in the beginning, I was very hard on myself, very talking bad about to myself, but switch that mentality to more positive outlook and trying to be better. So definitely, in this week, I noticed that there's some room of improvement, and I have improved in that area of trying to talk less badly to myself and actually words of encouragement. Same way, like I did something that I was definitely nervous doing, like asking a girl out, like girl. But let me tell you, I was fucking nervous leading up to that day, even leading up to that moment. But you know what? I overcame that anxiousness and asked her. So, hey, like that's improvement if you ask me, because I guess like before back then I would have been scared not even to ask. But you know what? What's the worst that happens? She says no. Okay, life moves on. The sun's gonna come up tomorrow, right? So a lot of as well, just recording more, like trying to talk to the camera directly, placing the camera in various spots, like say like the gym or just out in public, trying to be more comfortable. So like I would say like this week has been a huge learning curve for me. Had a great week and couldn't ask anything more. For today's workouts, kind of woke up sick. My throat hurts a little bit, so I call it a throat coat. my fault. Pause. But no, all jokes aside though, no, like definitely woke up with a sore throat, so I kind of took it as like a rest day. So my outside workout, I just walked, but like at a pace